Sup guys, everyone's favorite Galaxy Brain is here today with my guide on how to optimize your training. I should also mention that I got a new mic. I think it's better quality than my previous one. It's really good though because you can no longer hear like very loud clicking when I'm using my controller, my keyboard typing isn't as loud, my chair moving around isn't as loud, all that fun stuff. So let me know if you like the quality of this new mic in the comments below. With that said, I get this question a lot. How do I train and make my training as good as it can be? And it's not easy. So here's my list of things and I'll just go down talking about them. First one, have a goal or multiple goals in mind when training. Focus on things like improving your edge guarding, improving your defense, improving your usage of a certain move, getting more combos, whatever it is. Try to have something you can gauge while playing so you know if you're improving and you can ask yourself why you're improving in an aspect or why aren't you improving. Set those goals for yourself. And next up, you ever see a scene of Naruto where Rock Lee's like getting bodied by someone, I think it's Gaara, and then he just lifts off his weights and then he just starts destroying Gaara? Think like that, where sometimes you have to, I don't want to say sandbag in practice, but you have to limit yourself or handicap yourself in practice to improve yourself. For example, lately with Olimar I find I show up way too much in tournament and I recover high way too often. So I've been forcing myself to play without shielding at all for the past week when using Olimar, and I'm forcing myself to recover low with Olimar every time to get better at my movement, my usage of attacks, and my recovery. And it's helped so much. So while I put an asterisk here because you don't want to always do this, there's a situational thing that can be very useful when you find yourself over-relying on something or not using a certain option enough and you want to give yourself a reason to work on that option more or use that option less. Care about improving, not winning. You're playing matches with people and you're getting frustrated you're losing. It's okay if you're losing as long as you're getting better. If you can see, oh, I'm getting better at this thing I'm working on, it's okay if you lose. If you're playing a line quick play and you care about your GSP and you're like, oh, I lost, my GSP is getting lower, oh, I'm angry. No one gives a shit. It really doesn't matter. You're playing with friends, no one gives a shit, it's practice. Just try and get better. And winning is the result of getting better, but it's not how you get better. And I put an asterisk here because the exception is when you're playing with people and you're like, yo, so a very serious set, like best of 5, and then you just care about winning because you want to see if all the practice you put in is actually like giving you some payoff. But even then it's okay if you lose there because you're both trying to win. But that's the only time you should really care about winning over improving is when you set yourself to have like a serious, like basically try and have a tournament set in friendlies type thing. Diversify your practice. This is simple enough. Try to play with people of all different play styles, matchups, skill levels, experience, whatever it is. The more types of people you play, the more diverse you'll be. Step into your opponent's shoes. You're having trouble with a matchup? Play as that matchup. You're having trouble against a certain playstyle? Try to play with that playstyle. Try to understand the perspectives of people you're fighting, and you'll get significantly better at fighting that. And you'll learn so much. A lot of people say they have trouble not autopiloting in matches, and I say it's because they're trying to focus on too much generally. People are like computers in a way. We have a limited amount of RAM we can work with. If you try to focus on everything happening in a match at once, you're going to burn out and autopilot and focus on nothing. Whereas, if you're focusing on very specific things like, how's my opponent using this projectile? Or, I gotta watch out for this kill confirm. Or, I gotta look at his recoveries and destroy them. It's so much easier to focus on that and take advantage of it. So, keep that in mind. And then the rest of it, you can just autopilot. The goal is honestly to get a good enough autopilot that you can play most of autopilot and focus on the most important things of a match while you're playing and let your body do the rest. Have a consistent schedule. Try to play like the same amount of time every day if possible. Like for example, you only have 7 hours a day to play. 7 hours a week to play Smash. Break it up over 7 days, an hour a day, instead of one session of 7 hours. Because I find it so much easier to learn something and to implement it if I'm implementing it daily or even every other day, as opposed to long sessions weekly where it's easy to forget things and have to relearn them. And I put an asterisk here because I know Light said on Twitter, and he's told me before, that he plays very large sessions, but he doesn't actually play that consistently. And I think that's more the exception than a good rule of thumb. But maybe that's just for me, or maybe it's like, depends on the person. Obviously this is all depends on the person, but this is what I find tends to work for most people, including myself. Reviewing, and I should also mention, you don't have to play lots. Like, if you want to improve in Smash, if you don't have that much time, it's okay. You don't have to be grinding 6 hours a day like some people. As long as you're putting in as much effort as you can and practicing smartly, you should improve. Review VODs. I know people get mad looking at their matches and they'll be like, oh my god, I lost because I did this stupid thing and that stupid thing. Cringe, cringe, cringe. And yeah, it's something to get past. But if you want to improve, you have to look at your mistakes and say, honestly, I did this wrong, I should do this better. Or you should look at other people's matches and say, they do this well, I should copy this. Or my opponent does this well and I want to beat him, I should take advantage of this habit. So yeah, look at matches. We have so many resources to take advantage of. Take breaks. You're getting frustrated with matches, you're making a lot of misinputs, you're playing random characters and you're not improving anymore. Stop playing. Like, however long you need to break before you can go back to playing well, take that break, because you can actually not only not get practice if you're playing badly and not taking the break, but you can actually take away from practice if you're starting to build bad habits because you're playing really badly now, consistently doing the same bad option over and over. Offline practice is better than online practice. This is simple enough. Attend tournaments. Oh, I should also mention for online practice, if you have no other option, then play it though. I practice almost entirely online and look where I am right now. Attend tournaments. If you go to tournaments, you'll fight people who tend to have the same mentality if they really want to improve. And it's so much easier to improve when you're playing with other people with a similar mindset, as opposed to playing with people who don't give a shit. And then also in tournament, you and your opponents will play differently than friendlies. I don't know what it is, but people just tend to have sharper edges in tournament. And so getting the tournament experience is so good because you can play at your best, your opponent will play at their best. You know, you can get past your nerves and you can really figure out how you can improve. And then finally, talk with people. Simple enough. It's so much easier to learn if you're having conversation with people. You know, and a lot of people don't want to be like, hey, what can I do better? They want to like, not, I don't want to say belittle themselves, but a lot of people don't like just asking that question. In that case, you know, start a conversation by saying, oh, I'm having trouble with this aspect in neutral. What do you think I could do here in neutral versus this move or this playstyle? And, you know, just by having these conversations with people, you can learn so much better and find out things you would never have figured out on your own. It just makes the practice more fun when you're playing with someone and talking as opposed to just sitting down for an hour, not saying a word, and then just walking up saying, GG's, man. And I know especially when you're getting frustrated, it's hard to like do that, but really force yourself to do it. And with that said, last thing I should mention, have a consistent group of practice partners. Simple enough, it's a lot easier to learn and like improve if you're playing with the same people over and I can't even try this quickly. I find it's a lot easier to improve if you're playing with someone consistently and like they can gauge if you're getting better or worse and they know your habits and playstyle. So with that said, if you have any questions, you can ask in the comments below or any suggestions for things for this list, let me know. With that said guys, peace out, hope this video helps out anyone.